that is an incredibly effective showpiece. I just love this piece. This is one of those pieces that's like on my hit list that I want to learn, and I've been wanting to learn it for a long time, and just never seem to get around to the stack of music that I want to play. I'm too busy making a living to learn new music. It's so great. I mean, I have to confess that I don't have much to say, musically speaking. Honestly, since we have the time, I wouldn't mind like hearing you play the entire piece again. After maybe we could make a couple of just like general comments. How long did it take you to learn this? Just curious.
It was like on and off.
And you're playing this without the notes in front of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's fantastic. Really. I'm inspired to learn this now. Do you know Takashi Miike's movies at all?
Yeah.
Like there's one in particular that's particularly violent, and don't worry, I won't get into details. It's called Audition. It's the most horrifying horror film I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's nothing that remotely comes close, and I don't know why my mind was continuously drawn to certain scenes in that movie, because there's such extreme tension and high drama in this piece that I think if you were to really exaggerate almost everything about it, from the snap pizzas like we were talking about, to just basically doing exactly what's written on the page, but just in a more exploded view. I don't know if that makes much sense, but like perhaps maybe toning down the vibrato and making it sound even more exotic, like to a Western type of approach, like we play Beethoven. You sound like a cellist who plays a lot of Beethoven and Brahms and Ravel and other things. And I think this is so exotic that you can go the other direction. I know that's extremely vague, but not knowing the piece, I can't really speak about it with real authority. You can let the bum 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 yum bum 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 bum. I think the subdivisions are very important, and maybe don't underphrase them. Sometimes I feel like you're letting go. Maybe I could try to illustrate it once. Experimenting. You've got these wonderful chords with the stacked fifths. It's like a Japanese Bartok here. Sorry. There's something missing in terms of like this kind of majestic poise that I'd like more of. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Like maybe you could bring more of that out. Can you try that once? Just sounds like you need a different bridge or something. Something's buzzing, yeah. But maybe I think you could sort of mitigate that by pitching closer to the edge of the fingerboard. Yeah, my bridge is low too, so. But if you're up here, you're gonna get more slap. So. Yeah. And then as you progress, if you can sustain those, like you're playing like jazz bass or something like that. Yeah. But maybe not too much vibrato, because then you start to lose, I think, a little bit of the exoticism when you put too much left-hand warmth, like you're playing. This is not that. So that's a sound world that we want to sort of avoid. Does that make sense? I think that's the direction this needs to go. Okay, that's just one example of, I don't know, maybe some of the Arco stuff too. tell you what, why don't you, would you mind running through it again? I mean, is that too much to ask? Okay. I'd love to hear this again. And would you mind telling us what the story is of the Bunraku?
Oh, what
yeah, this piece.
It's just a puppet show for a Japanese puppet show.
Okay.
And I just had a story that this girl, she killed someone she thought, she didn't know who he was, but it turned out to be her long-lost father or something.
Okay. This is your sort of interpolation of the, okay, all right.
There's like a dancing, like geisha, dancing.
Okay. But there's an extreme event in this, a murder. Okay, there we go. That's the Miike in this piece. It's amazing. Okay, let's do it. I'm sorry. Can those, I know it's just forte at the beginning, but can it somehow be like give us blisters? You know, I want it to sound punishing. Bang, bang, kabuki theater, you know, very extreme. So sorry. I mean, it's riveting how you're playing this. It's great. I'm wondering if those glissandi can be treated more as if they are Bartók glissandi, like right from the get-go, right from the beginning of the note. Because I know you're tending to, where is that? It's, oh, wrong page. Here we go. Let's see. Maybe more. Like just. Like immediately? Yeah, I think so. Again, I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to play the piece, but I think that would be more what he's after. So how about right from there? more careful. Ba, 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 ba. Dictate the rhythm to us, okay? What fingering are you using? Dum, bam. Oh, you're sliding.
Yeah.
What if you did 2-1-2? Or 3-1-3? Try. I know it's compressed, but yeah, you might get a better articulation that way. But you have to pull off the G sharp. Yeah. So pull off, hammer on right after. That's it. Yeah. You want to really spit everything out. Yeah. Okay. Can you go back to the pizzes? They sound a little bit too traditionally expressive, like Brahms in a Brahmsian way. Maybe just could be a little bit more alien in a way. Hint of Russian, dum bum 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 ba yum bum bum, still like a procession, almost. Don't overphrase. I know I said don't underphrase, but don't overphrase as well. Yum bum 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 bum. Still keep that solemn processional kind of feeling here. One more time, and really let all the pizzas ring. Play closer to the edge. Yeah. To me, that seems too soft. It is mezzo forte at this point. Yeah. I think you need to play the silence there too. Again, we're talking about, like, remember what I said, do exactly what's written. I think that's important. You know, absolute silence during the rest. Play the rest. Again, off. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Bravo. Beautiful. Really, it's stunning. I think you're definitely on the right track with this piece. I think you took my suggestion and kind of ran with it. I like that. I'm not 100% convinced that some of your pulses are matching up between gestures, and I think you might want to examine, like for instance. Oh, and before I mention that, I think also this section, pay attention to the pitch. I think especially the interval between D and E flat here is just a little bit wide. I think you were landing almost on an E natural on that upward gliss. Yeah. So just be careful with that. This part reminds me of the crumb sonata, the opening of the crumb. That section. Just, I don't know if it's possible, it certainly is possible to practice this with a metronome in sections, just to make sure that everything is absolutely lining up and that you're not just sort of conveniently slowing something down because it's, you know, more inconvenient at that moment. Yeah, so, yeah, I love the jazz chords at the end. It's great with the added ninth. It's great. Anyway, I have nothing else to say. I mean, it sounds really terrific. Does anybody have any questions from the audience?
We've got another online question.
We do?
Yes.
Okay. I'm nervous. Okay. Oh, this is a big one. Bob, it's Mr. deMaine. No, just, or Monsignor. No, Bob, it's fascinating to see how many teachers you were able to work with in your cellistic upbringing. Of course, they were all extremely diverse in their approaches to cello, but would you say there is a common theme that ran throughout their teaching that takes a forefront in your own teaching? Actually, it's funny, I'm not just saying this because you're in the room, but a couple of like watershed moments I had in your studio on the second floor at Eastman when I studied with you. One of the big ones was practicing with drones. I remember I came in to play a Bach, it was Bach's Sixth Suite, and you just weren't going to have any of it. You said, Robert, have you ever thought of practicing with drones? And from that moment, I mean, you illustrated a few things, and you got me listening in a way that I hadn't before, and that was listening to the natural resonance of the instrument. And that is one thing that I carry to every class, every student. I mean, there's endless toil in this area. And for me, intonation is 99% of sound production. I mean, without immaculate intonation, you have nothing. I mean, you can't make a beautiful sound if it's almost in tune. It's like being, you know, if you want to have a baby, you can't be almost pregnant. You know, you've got to get it right. You know, so, and obviously when you're playing with a piano or you're playing with a string quartet, there are certain concessions that need to be made. You can't just say, well, I'm playing in tune with my own C string, so you got to match me. That's not how it works, unfortunately. So we have to be flexible. Flexibility is the name of the game. And I like to teach sort of as I use the term default setting a lot, teaching that you need to play in tune with yourself or your instrument first. And from there, you can make adjustments, whether it's with the vibrato or slightly changing a pitch to accommodate other people's open strings, et cetera. String quartet is a big one. But I tended to get quite restless and bored growing up, and I bounced around a lot from teacher to teacher and school to school, and I was very fortunate to have been exposed to people like Bernie Greenhouse and Janos Starker, in addition to my teachers, Steve Doan, Paul Katz, Aldo Paraso. When I was younger, Leonard Rose, played for Andre Navarra, and but often people I've learned the most from, I never played for at all. Like Pierre Fournier was my favorite cellist ever, still is. And I never got to play for him. And I've learned as much from Heinz Holliger or even Stevie Wonder. The sound he makes is unbelievable. Pavarotti, you know, the things that make people's sound instantly recognizable after two notes, one note, you know. Those are the things that I've latched onto and tried to figure out what is it about that makes it so special, makes it unique. I want that, you know. So I've always searched for that.